Hi students, today we shall see the next point in operating system memory management function, that is paging and virtual memory. First we will see what is paging. It is a memory management scheme that eliminates the need for contiguous allocation of physical memory. In the previous lectures, we have seen that there are some problems for contiguous memory allocation. To remove these problems, we are going to use other scheme for memory management, and that is known as paging. This is the first non-contiguous allocation method where memory is divided into equal size partitions. So previously we have seen contiguous memory allocation. From now onwards we are going to see non-contiguous allocation method where memory will be allocated for a process which is not continuous. So for this, the memory will be divided into equal size partitions, and these partitions are known as frames. The physical address space, which we have seen in the last lecture, is conceptually divided into a number of fixed size block called frames. So the physical memory, that is the main memory, will be divided into equal or fixed sized blocks which are known as frames. Since the idea is to reduce external fragmentation, we have seen in the previous lecture that the contiguous memory allocation faces the problem of external fragmentation. So the main idea of using paging scheme is to reduce external fragmentation. The logical memory of a process is also divided into small chunks of the same size as frames. Okay, so the logical memory is also divided into small sized partitions. All are of the same size, and that size is equal to the size of frames, and these chunks are called pages. So physical memory is divided into frames and logical memory is divided into pages. So the page size is equal to the frame size. The logical address space is splitted into fixed sized block. Remember one thing, that the frame size should be equal to that of the page size. One page of the process is to be stored in one of the frames of the memory. In this way, whenever a frame in memory is allocated to a page, it fits well in the memory. So no space will be wasted, as we had seen previously in variable size partitions or fixed size partitions, thereby eliminating the problem of external fragmentation. Moreover, the hard disk is also divided into blocks. So the physical memory is divided into frames, logical memory is divided into pages, and hard disk is also divided into blocks which are of the same size as frames. All the pages of the process to be executed are loaded into any available frame in the memory. It is not compulsory that the pages should be continuous. Okay, so this is how we will be able to remove the problem of external fragmentation. So here in this diagram you can see that the main memory, that is our RAM, is divided into equal sized partitions which are known as frames. Each frame will have a unique identification number. Similarly, a process which is in the hard disk is also divided into equal sized partitions, and these are known as pages. So each process will be divided into equal sized pages. Now remember that the size of the page is equal to the size of the frame, so that when this process is to be executed, it will be brought inside the main memory. So this particular page should exactly fit inside this frame, and because of that no space will be wasted and there will be no external fragmentation. So this is the whole concept of paging. Now we will see how the processes will get executed. Initially, the address generated by the CPU is divided into page number, which is indicated with variable P, and a page offset. So remember that the address generated by CPU is dividing into page number and page offset. Secondly, the physical address is divided into frame number, which is indicated by F, and a frame offset indicated with D. Page offset and frame offset will not change, it will remain the same. This logical address is converted into physical address, that is the address generated by the CPU, which is a logical address, will get converted into physical address. So this is the whole procedure of how the logical address will get converted into physical address. For that, the start address of the page in the memory, that is address in the base register, must be known. Every page will have one start address in the memory. The start addresses of the pages are stored in the form of a table known as page table. So here is a page table. The page table has two columns. One is the page number and second is the frame number. This page table tells you which page is kept in which frame. It is same like an index of a book, which tells us which chapter begins at which page number. So when the processes are brought in the main memory, the processes are divided into pages, as we have seen in the previous diagram. Which page is kept in which frame is indicated in this page table. So when converting the logical address to the physical address, we have to refer to this page table. A page table is a data structure used to store the base addresses of each page in the process. That is, the entry in the page table indicates the frame location of the pages in the memory. Thus, the paging concept involves the logical memory division into page table to keep the base addresses of the pages, and physical memory is divided into frames. Now we shall take an example. CPU has generated this logical address. Logical address will have a page number and a page offset. Now this particular page number, for example, we will take P1. Page P1 is kept in which frame? So page P1 is kept in frame number F6. So from here this page number will get converted into frame number. So we can see that page P1 is kept in F6. So this, from here it will get converted into physical address. We have got the frame number. Offset remains the same, and from this we can go and access that particular page. Okay, now as you can see over here, the processes are kept in separate partitions which are not contiguous. As in previous contiguous memory, all the process should be in the contiguous memory location. Here they are distributed over different frames. So this is the concept of paging. Now you will not know what is offset. Offset is just, for example, suppose if I say in your textbook page number 10 and on that page number line number 15. So page offset indicates the line in that particular page. So the offset remains same. So this is how the logical address is mapped into physical address in the concept of paging memory management. So here we finish with paging. Next we'll move on to virtual memory. As the name tells you what is virtual memory, virtual is imaginary. Virtual memory means imaginary memory. It targets the organization of the memory when the process size is too large to fit in the real memory. Virtual memory is a method that manages the exceeded size of larger processes as compared to the available space in the memory. It means that the degree of multiprogramming can be increased without worrying about the size of the memory. Virtual memory is a technique that allows the execution of processes that may not be completely in memory. The main visible advantage of this scheme is that programs can be larger than physical memory. Virtual memory is a storage scheme that provides user an illusion of having a very big main memory. In this scheme, user can load the bigger size processes than the available memory by having the illusion that the memory is available to load the process. So we can load the processes into main memory which may be bigger than the size of the main memory. Instead of loading one big process in the main memory, the operating system loads the different parts of more than one processes in the main memory. By doing this, the degree of multiprogramming will be increased and therefore the CPU utilization will also be increased. So virtual means imaginary. We imagine that the size of the main memory has been increased so that we can bring in more processes and execute more processes, which increases the degree of multiprogramming. But it is not so. The size of the main memory remains the same, but more number of processes can be brought inside the memory and the utilization of the CPU can be increased. That is why this concept is known as virtual memory, that is imaginative memory. How this is implemented, we shall see this in the next lectures. Thank you.